Hi guys, I'm Johnny from the PE Tutor. Thanks for taking your time to watch today's mini lesson. It's actually from a series that we've just finished putting together for all of our Level 2 BTEC sports students. So if you are studying for that Unit 1 exam, or you're a teacher and you have your own students preparing for that exam, then please do subscribe to this channel, and you can use all of our mini lessons uploaded here on YouTube, or click on the link below. We've actually just finished putting together a free flashcard pack for all students and teachers alike to use to really help them prepare for that exam. Anyway, hope you enjoy the lesson, and I'll see you again soon. So today we're going to look at the plyometric training method. The main benefit of plyometric training is that a performer can develop their explosive strength and power. Now, we understand power to be speed times strength, or the rate at which a muscle can apply its maximal force. Because plyometric training is designed to develop these two qualities, it's ideal for those in dynamic games such as basketball, football, or even volleyball. The underpinning principle of plyometric training is the use of elasticity in the muscle to create a more forceful contraction. And what I mean by that is when we complete plyometric training, we have to fully stretch the muscle before we complete a maximal contraction. By stretching a muscle fully, it means that we actually draw on its elastic properties, and we can use that bounce back to add on top of the maximal contraction we can actually apply through that muscle. The combination of these two forces trains our muscle to become faster and to be able to contract more forcefully on demand. Examples of plyometric training could be bounding, bouncing, hopping, or even skipping. Whatever the movement though, as long as a muscle goes through a full stretch before a forceful contraction, we can consider it to be plyometric training. So a basketballer, for example, might set up a row of boxes which they jump down from to create the stretch before exploding up and jumping onto the next box in the sequence. If this player were to then complete 5 repetitions over 5 boxes, we could consider that a plyometric set. Because of these high amounts of stress that we're putting on the muscle, it's likely it's going to become very sore a short time after the training session. If we were to tweak the movements, however, and perform them at a slightly lower intensity, so if we go back to our basketballer example, if we didn't jump down from a box, we just completed a drop squat, then these movement actions start to mimic a dynamic stretch. Because of this, we could use similar movements that are found within plyometric training in our warm-up. But if the aim is to promote muscular hypertrophy or to grow a stronger and faster muscle, then we want to be completing plyometric training at high intensity. And by high intensity, I mean we reach the limit of our range of movement quickly, and we then contract maximally straight after. Some key benefits of plyometric training is that it develops explosive strength and power very effectively. Due to the high stress that we place on the muscle, we also create micro tears inside of the muscle, which lends itself to muscular hypertrophy, or we can grow bigger and quicker muscles very well. Due to the nature of the activities where we rely on gravity and not a lot else, it's actually a very cheap method of training. It doesn't require much specialist equipment, if any. And a third benefit is the movement actions used within plyometric training are usually very simple. Therefore, it doesn't require specialist coaching nor a lot of knowledge in order to complete it effectively. One potential negative of plyometric training, however, is this increased risk of injury. Because we're intentionally taking a muscle towards its upper limits in its range of movement, it's not unheard of to go too far and actually cause a stretch or a strain inside of that muscle. Yes, we want some micro tears to occur so that we can repair it stronger and better than before, but if those micro tears are too big, then we're going to be injured, and that's going to have a negative impact on any performer's training schedule. Another potential drawback of plyometric training is that it's quite repetitive. Yes, we can tweak the movements to suit a certain sport, but there isn't an endless amount of activities or movement actions that we can complete. Because of this, it's likely the performer will be completing very similar training sessions week after week, which can lead to boredom. And given that plyometric training can be quite painful because we're dealing with high intensity levels, it requires motivation in order to complete it thoroughly. If motivation drops and effort levels begin to fall, then we're not going to have an effective method of training. So, to summarise, plyometric training is ideal to develop explosive strength and power. It's best suited to dynamic games performers such as footballers, basketballers or volleyballers. and it builds on the principle that we can get a more forceful contraction when we take into account the elasticity of a muscle. So we complete movements that stretch the muscle to the limit of its range of movement before we contract it maximally in the opposite direction to cause an explosive movement. The key benefits are that it's very effective and it's very cheap, but the downsides are that it can come with it an increased risk of injury and it's very repetitive, which could damage motivation and effort within training. So that's plyometric training. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, feel free to subscribe and you can stay updated with all the video and content that we're going to be bringing you, and I hope to see you again soon.